come behind the scenes with me as I develop a website in a day for a client that is local and they're an arborist. Okay, so first thing first, I sent them some websites that I thought could be a really good fit for their brand or like templates that I liked. And then they go from there and tell me what they like about different things. So, what the one that they really liked was a previous website I had designed. It's very clean and just it's very very clean, as you can see, a lot of white. So that is kind of what I am going to have in the back of my mind as I'm designing. I like for them to have a color palette that they come with, copy that they come with. This particular client didn't, so I did whip up some color palettes just because I really need that direction. And we'll see if I go with them. But let's show you kind of what that looked like. So it was just a couple color palettes with, and I explained kind of what the vibe is. And I think I'm probably going to gear a little bit towards for their logo has this blue. Um, and they're in the Pacific Northwest, and so there's a lot of like evergreen trees. It's very beautiful out here. So probably will go for this. Although arborist, I do think like adventurous and fun. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm thinking about using Squarespace AI actually. So I go in and I looked at the templates. None of these are going to work. So we're going to go get started with the AI and see what that comes up with. Just because usually with website in a day, I can do 3 custom pages or 5 template pages, and they want 5. So let's try this out. They do not want appointments. They want something that directs to their contact page. There's no digital products. They're about social is not big, no form, and we're going to do footer. Okay. I'm definitely noticing we're going to need to do a lot of editing with this, but that's fine. Add pages to your site. We want a services page. We want the contact we have. That's good. Choose a color palette. Okay. So I kind of talked about what I liked. That actually could work. Although the client liked clean, and I do think the age range for the ideal client that this person works with is very broad. um like we're talking 30 to 70. So because it's homeowners, so I want something that's going to be clean enough for the homeowner. So I'm kind of stuck between I think I'm going to do that. All right, we can always change it, so it's not that big of a deal. They did not have fonts. Again, I want something that's super legible because ideal client is a huge age range, and if a 70-year-old is reading it, we need it to be clear. They are masculine, educated, professional, clean, and so I'm actually probably going to choose 2 sans serifs. I don't need it to be fancy. I need it to be very very clean. So doing Roboto is fine. There's hierarchy, so it's the same font, but there's hierarchy. I kind of think I want something just a little. I mean, I do like the boldness of that. Okay, that's a little bit too bold. Again, I can change all these, so it's not that big of a deal. But that one works. Perfect. Finish. All right, let's see what AI comes up with for us. Okay, I do not like that font. That font is way too like techie, and I want something that's more masculine. And this does make a difference, guys. Like you might not think it does, but it really does. So let's go to uh let's try Oswald. because I do want it to slightly be different than Railway, which is the body text, this body text. I think Oswald is what I used on here. Let's see. Yeah, so I just use a thinner. Okay. Again, like that's my website that I've created. So like, I mean, you can get inspiration from other websites. Just be careful, of course. Oswald 200 was the weight. Why does that one look so much different than it? Okay, I can't focus on this. I have a website in a day. I have a day to do this. So I cannot spend as much time focusing on things as I like. And that is the hardest part of doing website in a day is you can't. You don't have as much time to focus on what you would like to focus on. So I'm going to grab that color, that green. I want to change this green. It works. I could stick with it. Let's just try. Yeah. So the green, I like this green because it's more of the evergreen, that like the color of the trees that we have here, whereas this is more like bright. Again, you just have to make a decision and move on. It's the hardest part of website in a day for sure. It's really hard, you guys. Okay. So there we have colors, we have fonts, buttons. Don't want the circular. So again, these are the things you really want to figure out prior because otherwise you're making a lot of changes later. I like the square. I like there to be some like outline maybe. That's fine. Okay. It truly is the hardest, just making decisions and moving on. All right. Let's save this and let's go forward. So my goal is homepage being done in 2 hours. That is what takes me the longest. I only really have 6 hours. I've done some pre-work, but I only have 6 hours during the day to do it. So you just have to get it done. So usually they provide me with copy. This particular client kind of did. So I have the questionnaire. And so that's what I'm going to use to fill things in. You guys, Squarespace just shut down for 45 minutes. When you have a website in a day and you need to be cranking out pages, that cannot be happening. That does not usually happen, but that was a little stressful. I just focused on like what are the things I can do. I went on Pinterest. I really just tried to refine what I want the homepage to look like, so that when I could get back into Squarespace, I could just go at it. So I'm back on schedule. I'm gonna pop back in, show you guys kind of what I worked up for the homepage. I just sent it off and asked for corrections, and they said looks great. So that's the best you can hear as a website designer. And then I'm gonna dive into the about page. All right, so we got the homepage. Obviously, trying to use keyword phrases. This is the H1, the heading one, and so it's really important to get that one page on every page, and making sure to use keyword phrases. So did that. We got testimonials. They have so many testimonials that are amazing. So I was like, we have to feature that. And then obviously their main services. The main goal is to get them on the contact, get them on. So as you can tell, that's where we're leading people. So now I am going to go into the about page. If you don't know this really cool fact or trick with Squarespace, if there's a section that you designed and you're like, oh, I love this section, click the heart and that saves it. These are just pieces of text and then an image, and I pinned the image, and that's how I got that scroll effect where like the text keeps scrolling but the image stays. And then just grab these to feature kind of their services. So I don't think I have. Yeah, that is linked to it. Okay. So that is good. I'm going to go now into the about page. We're working for consistency here. So I pulled in, I added a new section and I looked at my save section. I pulled in that, which is the same as the home page. And then I'm going to say about, and I need to do a little bit more research on their keyword phrases. I don't really think people like search arborist, but I'll need to look into that a little bit more. Okay, so that is my H1 about Spokane Arborist Breast Tree Service. Change out the photo. They have tons of good photos, so that's good. They didn't provide me with, they did not provide me with copy, but they did provide me the questionnaire, which is great. So I'm pulling a lot from that. And let me know below if you guys want this questionnaire, like if you want it like delivered, if you're wondering how to do website in a day, this is so necessary. So a little bit more about their services. I'm going to add some of that copy to that homepage. I had put a little bit, but I want to add a little bit more. Trim, prune, remove, stump grinding too. That could be some things people actually search for, so I want to get that in the keyword phrases. All right. If you know nothing about SEO, I'm going to link a free SEO training I have below with my strategy about how I go about it and how I get my clients ranking on page 1 of Google, even if I'm doing a website in a day. I was just chatting with somebody yesterday who I designed their website 2.5 years ago. They did a website in a day service, and they are on page 1 of Google. And I was like, are you getting clients from Google? And they said yes. So I was like, great, that's what it's supposed to be doing. All right, about page, who we are. Maybe I'll feature some of their values. So I'm just going in. How I kind of like to go about this is like I create an outline and then I go in and I add fun little elements. So like when I was creating the homepage, I like just took the copy and put it down and then like added these little overlapping tree element or pinning this. That's just how my brain works. Especially when I'm doing something that's so fast like this, I can't really focus on every little detail as I go about creating it. So these are the pages I'm going to be working on: home, about, services, and contact. And then I might add a blog page just under not linked for them, just to encourage them to blog. And I have talked with the wife. The husband is not really interested in updating the website too much, but I talked with her and she does know the importance of blogging. And so I just want to put that there as kind of a filler, and then they can edit that as is. Contact page. So this is going to be a pretty simple page. And she told me what they wanted on their form. Email, phone, brief description. And I'll need to change that storage. Contact tree service. Perfect. That looks good. Change out this. So yeah, I'm going to go through and then I will let you know.